All right, well, we are back here, fans. Rob Kendall, Lex Zorn here on AudioSportsOnline.com. It is our fourth grade championship game, Leck, and we're still excellent. Air Force and Navy. Leck, if you want to take a picture of that roster, that should suffice.
Okay, all right. I will.
Because you're the one that's got to remember the names.
Yes, indeed. So I will do that right now. Okay. Oh, good. I'll go ahead and. Yes, that would make it easier. Yes, thank you very much.
Our fourth grade game today will feature Air Force and Navy. Notre Dame, the winner in the third grade game. We've got about 8 minutes still up on our clock before our fourth grade championship game. You can see the Air Force there on the far side of the field getting warmed up. We'll pan that camera around over here, and you can see the Navy getting ready to go on their end of things. And look, exciting third grade game. We'll see if the fourth grade game lives up.
That's right. Yeah, this is a great annual event here run by the Fishers and Hamilton Southeastern Youth Programs. And in the third grade game, it was a barn burner for the first half with Notre Dame and Michigan State tied at 20 each. However, in the second half, Michigan State just really exploded and went on to win the game and the championship by a score of 41-20. And by the way, all the
Push that
teams,
mic. Push your mic down just a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, all the teams here in the youth league have names of college teams, and so anyway, now we got the fourth graders coming up, and the rules change slightly for each grade level, so hopefully we won't get too confused here. But we had a great game to start off, and we got two more coming up, so. Hope you'll stick with us for about the next 3 or 4 hours. And if you're in the area, come on out. This is a totally free event here on the campus of Hamilton Southeastern High School. And if you're far away, maybe you're a grandparent of one of these kids, great to have you with us. Glad to have the opportunity to bring you these games. We hope that we'll make you feel like you're right here. So. Anyway, this is, I believe, the 9th year that we've been bringing you this event here on AudioSportsOnline.com. The games, obviously, they're airing live right now, and then they will be archived to our YouTube channel, which is simply AudioSportsOnline.com. In fact, we have all of our past broadcasts there on the channel as well for you to check out. They'll be there forever. So, it's so great that and at that we'll pause for the national anthem.
What instrument is that?
Well, thank you to the Hamilton Southeastern staff for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. And as I was starting to say, that every year the Youth League here in Hamilton and the Hamilton Southeastern and Fisher system has these championship games that are aired live here on Audio Sports Online. And, it's very important that these leagues exist. A lot of you probably who are listening now are high school football fans, and I think a lot of high school football fans fail to realize just how much work goes into running a successful high school football program. It's much more than simply having talented kids. it takes years and years, starting around third grade, of building these kids up in the youth football program, building them up physically, getting them in the weight room, getting them conditioned properly, teaching them good diet and exercise habits, teaching them the fundamentals of the game, and getting them accustomed to playing with each other. Because chemistry is so very important at football, teamwork, learning to rely on and trust your teammates and play well together. So these youth leagues are so important, and without leagues such as this, there would not be good high school programs. And so I think it's great that the Fishers Hamilton Southeastern League promotes this. Promotes the youth leagues and gives the kids this showcase of their games being streamed online around the world, and and reminds the fans of how important these leagues are, and that you look at the Hamilton Southeastern and Fishers programs. They've each won a state championship. They're each often in the top 10 in the state here in Class 6A, the highest class in the state, and it starts, with these youth leagues. These kids who you're seeing now are the Royals and the Tigers of the relatively near future. 5, 6, 7 years from now, these kids are going to be playing, first in the on the freshman team, and then the JV team, and then finally the varsity team. And so you're getting a look at the future of these two great programs, and so it's great that they're already learning not only to play together, but learning how to compete for championships. And this is just invaluable experience. And I'm just so thankful that after all the scares that we had in this extremely crazy offseason, undoubtedly the craziest offseason in football history, that we had a season, not only for the high school kids, but for the elementary school kids. And had the season been canceled, it would have been absolutely devastating. It would have been absolutely devastating, and for these kids to lose a year of progress, and because so much of what these kids do at the high school level depends on them being consistently active for 8 or 9 years prior to that. So anyway, now we've got the captains for each team on the field for the coin toss. The first game was Notre Dame and Michigan State, but I remember from my 2 previous years covering this event that usually many of the teams are named after the service academies. So not surprisingly, the participants here in the 4th grade championship game are Air Force and Navy, the Falcons versus the Midshipmen. And, in real life, these programs, in college football, these are 2 of my favorite programs to watch. They both run schemes that are very different than most major college teams do. And one thing I love about about high school football is that you see a lot of schemes that you rarely or, more probably never see in the NFL or most major colleges. For example, Greenfield Central, who plays Plainfield in high school football. Plainfield, one of our audio sports online schools, Greenfield Central runs the wishbone. And, you don't even see that much in major college anymore. So it's a real treat.
Air Force won the toss. They will defer, so Navy will get the ball to begin the football game.
Now, in 3rd grade ball, there's no kicking off, and each team begins on offense on its opponent's 40-yard line. Let's see how they do it here. It's kind of trial and error. Yeah. And so let's see how they do it here for the 4th grade game. And in the 3rd grade, of course, you might notice the orange markings on the field. That represents the modified sidelines here.
8 minutes on the clock.
That's same as 3rd grade, yeah. So that's one. Okay, and they're starting at the 40 again, so that is one thing that is the same between the 2 programs. Okay, that's good. So let's see here. Now I've got a photograph for a Got a photograph for a roster here, and
The Navy will have the ball to begin the game. They'll be moving from left to right.
so let's see here. Looks like the quarterback is. Okay, so and Navy starting off on offense here at the Air Force 40. Handoff there. And he broke through, and he's past the 30, past the 25, out into the 20. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. So
Number 34 for
Yep.
Navy.
So anyway, it's a very good start. 13 seconds on the first play of the game. Navy scores on a 40-yard touchdown rush.
Do we have a name for 34 there, Leg?
The number got cut off. Hold on just a second. And now they're going to go for the conversion here. So I guess it's going to be the 1-point conversion. Okay, it's Grayson Shims there on the quarterback for playing quarterback for the. Okay, so apparently there's a. Apparently there's a little confusion about the.
Okay,
it
so
looks like
he didn't get
Grayson
in the end
Shims.
zone. They said it was
Okay.
first and goal. He must have been gone out of bounds.
Yeah, because I forgot the different sidelines. But now the second play is in there for the touchdown. So just like that.
28 for Navy. Leck on the run that time.
That's right. Sam Trebley there on the 2-yard touchdown rush for the midshipmen, and they strike first blood only 42 seconds into this game. So Shims takes it 38 yards on the first play, and then Trebley takes it 2 yards on the second to put the midshipmen on the scoreboard with 7:18 to go here in the first quarter here in the fourth grade championship game. Your score, Navy 6, Air Force 0 with the conversion pending. So now 2 receivers out to the right, 1 running back. Hand off there to, and now they stop him, and they stop him short. So 6-0 your score. So Grayson Shims, who got the 38-yard rush on the first play of the game to set up the touchdown, falls short on the 2-point conversion or the 1-point conversion attempt. And your score still remains 6-0. And now we'll get to see how the Falcons look on offense here. 7:18 to go here in the first quarter of the fourth grade championship game. Second game of our triple header. My name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kindle. We're coming at you live here from TCU Field on the campus of Hamilton Southeastern High School here in Fishers, Indiana for this great annual bonanza. And the rules, a little bit different, a little bit modified here. So we will try to, keep accurate here. So now Air Force on its first play. We got a handoff there. He takes it over the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, and it might get the first. He's going to be about a yard short. So that is that's Philip Warren there. They'll give him credit for 9 there for Air Force on their first play of the game. So that'll bring up 2nd and 1 for Air Force. 6:43 to go in counting here in the first quarter. I believe this is our 9th consecutive year of bringing you this event here on Audio Sports Online. So now, 2 running backs there. No receivers out. And, it gives it again. This time it's a different running back. He's got the first down and more. Dives forward for about 3 yards or so. So that was Jackson Oliver there with his first carry of the game. They give him credit for 2, and that will be good for a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the Navy 29. 5:58 to go in counting. First quarter. Navy 6, Air Force 0. First possession of the game for Air Force. And hands off again. He's got some room over on the right side, past the 25, past the 20. He's got the first down, and he's up to about the 16. So Warren there with his second carry of the game. This time the first one went for 9. This one goes for 13. So already 2 for 22 on the ground for Philip Warren. We saw about 5 very promising running backs in the third grade championship game between Notre Dame and Michigan State. And now Air Force in the red zone here on their first possession. My name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kindle. This is my 9th season covering football here for AudioSportsOnline.com in the Indianapolis area. So now once again with Warren and Oliver in the backfield. It's a handoff. And now this time Oliver gets it. He's got some room on the left side. Dodges a tackle inside the 10, inside the 5. And did he get in? Yes, touchdown. So with 4:52 to go, Jackson Oliver ties the game at 6 with the conversion pending. So each team scores pretty easily on its first possession. It was 2 runs by Warren totaling 22 yards and 2 by Oliver totaling 18 and the touchdown. And now after Navy failed on its first conversion attempt, now Air Force is going for the 2-point conversion here. So it's Navy scored in 2 plays, Air Force scored in 4. This time only, now they've got 2 receivers out to the left. They got a running back in there. Now hands off to Oliver again, but this time they're right on top of him, and he's stopped well short of the end zone. So the score remains 6-6 with 4:52 to go here in the first quarter of this fourth grade championship game. We just finished the third grade game a few minutes ago with Michigan State getting a 41-20 win over Notre Dame. Notre Dame getting a 41-20 win over Michigan State, breaking the game open after it was tied at 20 at the half. So certainly it's been an exciting afternoon of football so far, with still a lot more. We're not even halfway done yet, so looking forward to all the rest of the action here. This is always one of my favorite events on the sports calendar every year. So once again, Jackson Oliver takes it in for the touchdown from 16 yards. So now handoff there, and he's got some room on the right side, and he gets it up for about 5 yards, so good start to the drive for Navy. So 4:32 to go and counting. So 2nd and 5 at the 35 for Navy. That was Cameron Carlander there. Carlander with his first carry of the game. And it's good for 5 yards. So now the midshipmen line up again. 3:59 to go here in the first quarter. Hands off, and he nearly tripped up, but he dodges and gets forward for about 1 yard there. That was Shims with his second carry of the game. The first one went for 38 to set up that touchdown. Give him credit for 1 yard there. Navy actually scored on their first possession in 2 plays. Don't do quite as well on this drive, but they have gotten 6 yards on the first 2 plays, setting up 3rd down and 4. 2:10 your time of day. Coming at you live after this game, we're going to have the 5th and 6th grade championship game. So now the snap, and now handoff, and he's going to be short of the first down. So it's going to be 4th. So Carlander with his second carry, he got 5 on his first one, got about 2 on that one. So that'll bring up 4th down and 2. So 2:43 to go. Let's see if the Navy converts on this 4th down. You know, every possession in 4th grade as well as 3rd grade ball starts on the opponent's 40, so no decision about whether to punt or not. So 2 receivers out to the right now. There's a handoff there. He's going to get the first and more. He's inside the 30 and up to about the 28. That was Shims again with his 3rd carry of the game. Picks up about 4 yards there. They're going to mark him down at the 28. Grayson Shims showing some toughness here in the early going. 38 yards on the first play of the game. Nearly got a touchdown, but apparently stepped out of bounds at the 2. So good job on 4th down conversion there by Navy. That was the thing that really hurt Michigan State in the second half. After they scored on all three of their full possessions in the first half, they turned it over on downs, I believe, every time they had the ball there in the second half. Michigan State, that is. Michigan State in their 3rd grade championship game lost to Notre Dame. So now we got Shims there in the backfield along with one other running back. Quarterback under center. And now fakes it to Shims, keeps it himself, but he's brought down immediately.
Great job by number 5 there, or was that may have been 8, the defensive end, staying at home, coming up there and making the tackle. Great job.
Oh, yes. And Hudson Deal, the quarterback for Navy, brought down right in his tracks for no gain. Yeah, that was a very good awareness, very good defensive awareness there by Air Force. 1:44 to go and counting now in the first quarter of game 2 out of 3 today. Each game a championship game here in the Hamilton, the Fishers-Hamilton Southeastern Youth League. Deal there at quarterback with 2 receivers to the left, 1 running back. Takes a snap, hands off. And he goes to his left, but they're right on top of him, and they bring him down for a loss.
Big 28, Leck, if you could get a name on that, coming in to make the hit for Air Force that time.
Yeah, so that was Carlander, for a loss. And he says number 8. What number did you say was, Rob?
28.
28, oh, yes. He is Liam Higgison for, so bring him down for a 1-yard loss, so great job there by Higgison. Certainly a defensive man I'll be looking at over these years. And my son Liam is here with me in the press box, and now it's another Liam on the field who makes a big stop there. So that'll be 3rd and 11 now for Navy. And now we got a flag here.
Going to be a false start on one of the receivers, it looks like.
So now 3rd and 11 turns to 3rd and 16. So now Air Force, with a good chance to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead here. So I've seen a couple of really good stops on this play, and it's got to be a good jolt of confidence for the Air Force defense after the way that Navy scored, almost at will on their first possession with the 38-yard rush by Shims and then the 2-yard rush by Trebley for the score. Now, on the other hand, Navy nearly first, Air Force nearly, and now the clock is going to run out for the first quarter there. So after 1 quarter of play here in the 4th grade championship game, your score, Navy 6, Air Force 6. The midshipmen have the ball 3rd and 16 at the Air Force 34. So anyway, we got 5 quarters now out of 12 in the books here on this this very special day, this 3-game bonanza. For many years was a 4-game bonanza until the youth program here started combining the 5th and 6th grade teams into one. So I would imagine that the 5th and 6th grade game will be quite different than the first 2. You'll probably have bigger rosters and, less multitasking. And I think, after you've been through the, after you've been through a few years of youth football, I think probably the coaches in the system can figure out what positions that, that you're best at and start to specialize you a little more. Although it's really interesting when you look at the history of American football, which goes back over 150 years now, the sport has really evolved a lot. And in the early days, even in the NFL, it was, very common for guys to multitask. For you guys, for example, often the kicker would be a guy who played another position. Like George Blanda, for example, a combination of a quarterback and kicker. He's a Hall of Famer. And, Sammy Baugh, who was one of the top quarterbacks, if not the top quarterback in his day, also 1 year led the NFL in interceptions. So obviously, you would never see that in today's NFL. But anyway, back to action here. Now a handoff. He takes it over to the left side, and he's going to get up maybe 3 or 4, but it's going to be far short of the first down, so it's going to be 4th and very long for Navy. So that'll be 3rd down. And so that was Owen Maurer for Navy, and that will bring up a 4th and 13. Already 5 different midshipmen have carried in this game.
Yeah, and we saw in that first game, Leck, even one possession where you don't score can be the end of it.
Yeah, that's how it was for Michigan State. They got the ball first, scored their first 3 possessions, but they then second half, once they, on their first possession of the second half, when they did not get that touchdown, then basically it ended up being over from there because they just weren't able to stop Notre Dame. Michigan State wasn't. So now fakes the handoff, and the first pass of the game, but the receiver, he had it, but he slipped. So Navy turns it over on downs, and so now Navy, Air Force will take over with a chance to they'll take over at the Navy 40 with a chance to take the lead with any score here. We only saw 2 passes thrown in the entire in the entire third place game. That was the first pass here in the fourth place. I'm sorry, in the third grade game, we only saw 2 passes. Now in the fourth grade game, that was the first one. So now let's see how the Falcons do on their second drive. They did very well on their first drive, 2 rushes each by Warren and 2 by Oliver, culminating in a 16-yard touchdown rush by Oliver. 6:44 to go now here in the second quarter, coming at you live from TCU Field on the campus of Hamilton Southeastern High School. So now, there's a pitch back. He's got some room over the left side, past the 35, past the 30. He's got the first down, and he's brought down about the 27. So excellent start to the drive. That was Bryson Goins there for Air Force, and they mark him down at the 26. So that's a gain of 14 yards, his first carry of the game. So things looking up for the Falcons here. So they already have 3 separate players who have double-figure rushes in the first 10 minutes of this game. It was, the running backs who dominated the third grade game, and so far shaping up to be that way for the fourth grade game. So here's the snap. 2 running backs, and we got a quarterback keeper here. He's got room on the right side, past the 25, past the 20, inside the 15, and I think he stepped out of bounds. Yes, I keep forgetting about that white line they've got.
Yeah, it is a bit confusing when you forget that that's there, because you keep thinking, go, keep going.
Nevertheless, Liam Higgison with 11 yards on his first rush of the game. Also had a good defensive stop earlier. So now 4 different rushers with double-figure gains already for the Falcons. And so now a handoff there, and he breaks a tackle inside the 10, and he gets inside the 5. He's trying to drag himself down to the end zone.
It's going to be just short, it looks like, but what an effort that time. 24 on the run for Air Force.
So Bryson Goins with his second rush of the game. His first one went for 14. His second one went for 14. What are the odds of that happening? So 2 for 28 for Goins. And the Falcons are knocking on the door of taking the first lead of the game here with 5:21 to go and counting here in the second quarter. This is the fourth place championship game. So now they line up once again with 2 running backs, no receivers. The snap, the handoff, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
58 on the run that time for Air Force.
So that was Isaac Repp, last name R-E-P-P. And with his first carry of the game for 1 yard out and a touchdown. So already five different Falcons have rushed in this game, and 2 of them have scored.
12-6 now the score.
That's the first score here of the quarter. It was the first score in nearly a quarter's worth of action. They're going for the 2-point conversion. Both teams failed on their first conversion attempts. And now handoff there, and he dives at the end zone, and he doesn't get it. So 0 for 3 on conversions for this game, and the score remains Air Force 12, Navy 6. And very important that the midshipmen get a score on this possession, because if they don't, then they're in danger of Air Force starting off the second half with the ball, getting a score and taking a 2-possession lead. That is very hard to overcome in a game that's only 32 minutes long. 8-minute quarters here in 4th grade ball. So Navy was outstanding there on their first drive, scoring in a mere 2 plays. Then they struggled on their second drive, turned it over on downs. Nearly turned it over on the first series. They got down to 4th and 2, did convert it, but then turned it over without getting another first down. 5:04 to go here in the second quarter. Air Force 12, Navy 6. And it's a handoff. It fakes the handoff, but the quarterback falls, and he's brought down for a loss.
Now Air Force will have an extra possession in this game, so this is really a big one for Navy right here, Leck.
Yes, so now definitely it's a very, very crucial possession here for the midshipmen, trying to avoid the danger of Air Force getting the ball back with a chance to take a 2-possession lead after the quarterback slip on. And now it looks like, now he gets the handoff there, but it's going to be brought down around the line of scrimmage. That's Braden White there.
It's interesting. We saw this in that 3rd grade game, too, where Navy came out, much like Michigan State, on that opening possession, scored very quickly, and then it's kind of been all the other team for the most part the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's right. So very critical 3rd and long now for the midshipmen.
And how about all the parents and friends that are braving the elements outside?
Yeah, it has. I think it's gotten. I'll check the temperature here, but yeah, we've got good crowds on both sides of the bleachers here.
And we're going to see who after this play, I'll make that.
And now a handoff. He gets up. He gets a decent gain. Now stays on his feet with somebody on his ankle, and he gets 5 or 6 yards.
It looked like an amateur wrestling move there towards the end. He had the foot, was trying to sweep him off the mat. They always say shoot the leg in amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
We'll find out who the real friends are in the 4 o'clock game, because the Colts play at 4:25. So we'll find out who the actual, in the 5th and 6th grade game, who actually has the real friends.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we sure will. And but yeah, I definitely I'm perfectly fine, doing this instead of. I'd much rather commentate this game than watch the Colts. I just have.
And I'm glad you feel that way, because otherwise I'd have to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't think either of us doing 3 games back to back alone would be good for our voices. It's good to
The first couple of years I did this, we had parents from each team come do the games with me.
Oh, well, I'm glad to be doing it. This is one of my favorite events of the year to commentate. So now. drive up the middle, and he might have the first down. He dove at it. Yes, he's got the first down.
The Air Force coaching staff not very happy. They say he was down at the 31.
Certainly is a close call. So, spots, let's face it, spots are often pretty subjective, but yeah, this is, it's so great to, especially this is my 9th year commentating high school football, and I've learned in that time how important it is to have a good youth program, and so it's just so much fun to watch these youngsters here as they're, on the bottom rungs of the ladder climbing up to someday be on the varsity teams here at Fishers and Hamilton Southeastern. So now,
the ball's on the turf.
Yeah, so nice recovery there. Let's see, is number 24 who jumped on it for Navy, and that's good awareness, because of the way that the American football is shaped and the bounce pattern is unpredictable. You've got to really have good hands and awareness to be able to grab it there. So that was a really good fumble recovery there.
And one thing that is different between the 3rd and 4th grade, the 4th grade does take the snap from the center.
Yes, they changed the rules a little bit for every league, and now a handoff there, and and he could go all the way. Yes, he will. 28.
Number 52 with the score that time, Leck.
That's Braden White there with his second carry of the game. First one was from 9, second one was for 28 and a touchdown. So the very much needed score for the midshipmen there.
Yeah, how about that swing and momentum? You go from 4th, and if you don't get it, boy, you're in real big trouble. And now you got a tie game with a chance to take the lead, and that all changing here in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, so if Navy ends up winning this game, then you got to look at that 4th and 5, and now the controversial spot there, but where Maurer did make the 4th and 5 conversion. So that was a great great turn of events there, and when things were starting to look bleak for Navy when they were 5. If they didn't get that 4th and 5 conversion, then Air Force was going to get the ball with the chance to take a 2-possession lead that, as we saw from the third grade game, very hard to overcome in games that are this short. So now quarterback with 2 running backs, hands off, and he's got the conversion.
Pretty simple on that one, full steam ahead.
So Maurer, he got the big 4th and 5 conversion. Now he gets the 2-point conversion, or 1-point conversion, excuse me, to give Navy the lead back 13-12. So it's now Air Force. They do get the ball first to start the second half, but it would be huge for them if they were to. I believe each team has all of its timeouts left. I don't recall any timeouts being taken so far. And now, Rob, I don't know if you want to put this, in the game, but on the other side of the field that's not being used because they're only playing from the 40 on, you've got, a bunch of kids playing football on the other side of the field in informal games. So, now Air Force takes over here, and it's a handoff. He's got some room on the right side past the 35, 30, 25. One man to beat inside the 15, and he's brought down just shy of the 10. So, Goins, having some really good carries so far. So that's, Goins, his first 2 rushes went for 14 yards apiece. That one goes for 29, so 3 for 57 already. So he's and now, and so with 1:05 to go, Air Force with a good chance to not only get a score here to regain the lead, but also remember they get the ball first to start the second half. So things looking up for Air Force again. It's been a wild and woolly game of momentum swings. We had that was how the first half was in the third grade game before Notre Dame completely took over in the second half. We got a fumble here, and the quarterback gets it, and he's brought down. So let's see where they mark him. But again, good awareness. So we've had a fumble. Each team recovered one of its own fumbles so far, and their Air Force takes its first time out with 58.5 seconds to go in the half. Still trying to get the lead back before we head into halftime. So we've got, that was a loss of 5 yards there on the snap. But nevertheless, Air Force lucky not to have lost the ball there. So good job by Higgison jumping on it. So 58.5 to go. Second down and goal at the 15. Two receivers, two running backs in the backfield now. But they're right on top of him, and he's stopped for a gain of just about 2. Gets up, So now 53.3 seconds to go. That'll be third down, and they give him credit for 1. .3 seconds to go, so third and goal at the 14. So, and it's, very hard, when you're in this situation in Little League ball and the defense is likely to clamp down on you, it's really tough to get long gains. So Air Force in a challenging situation here as they trail by 1 here late in the half, 53.3 seconds to go. So now fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper loses control, gets it back, and he dives forward. He's going to get about 3, so it's going to be fourth and goal at about the 10 or 11, and Air Force does take a timeout. So Higgison there picks up about 3 yards.
Yeah, this is where the rules really come into how you coach, because Navy's spending these timeouts here. If it were traditional rules where you get the ball wherever it's at, if you don't get the first down, you wouldn't be seeing that. But because of the fact that you can get the ball at the 40, you get the ball basically in what would be the equivalent of other teams' territory at the 40 on a turnover on downs. There are no field goals, there are no punts. Navy spending those timeouts.
Yes, indeed. So now Higgison takes the snap. Hands off to Goins. He's inside the 10. We got a flag. He fumbles. It's picked up, and he's brought up to about the 3, so good awareness there to get the fumble. But we got to, let's see what the call is, though. It's going to be holding. Okay, so it's the penalties declined.
So the Air Force will not score, so it's 13-12, and Navy now will have an opportunity. Now, I think they used all of their timeouts.
So 44.8 seconds to go, so the midshipmen will have to hurry. But I'll tell you, though, key play when they got it first and goal there at the 10, and then they had the fumble there on the snap, and it ended up being a 5-yard loss. That was a big momentum-changing play there. So now if Navy can get a score here, all the better. Although unless they get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion, which would make it a 9-point lead, nevertheless, unless that happens, Air Force on their first possession of the second half will, at the very least, have the opportunity to tie. So let's see what the midshipmen do. I mean, this is already each team, about one play away from having let the other team take firm control, but been a couple of wild momentum shifts that have changed things. So now a rush up the middle for about 6 yards to start the drive, but they're not going to be able to stop the clock. I think they used all their timeouts.
Can the coaches run on the field like that?
The coaches are allowed to be on the field in third and fourth grade, yes. So Braden White picks up 6 there, and now they spike the ball.
Well, I mean, I get that they've got the coach on the field. I just know the second coach could run.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
No, I know the one coach could be on there. There were 2 very involved in the process.
Yeah, it would be, it's a funny thought. It'd be interesting to see what a major college in the NFL would be like if the coaches were allowed to be on the field. I mean, what if Woody Hayes would have been allowed to be on the field, And what if in basketball Bob Knight had been allowed to be on the court during the game? So, and that was only the fourth pass, by the way. That spike was only the fourth pass of the game, of the 2 games so far that we've had. And now, handoff there, dives over a tackler, gets some room on the left side. He's going to be inside the 30 for the first down. He dives forward, gets to about the 27 or the 28 with 9 seconds to go. So Maurer, a very big guy, made the 2-point conversion, made the conversion on 4th down and on 4th down and 5 that ended up in the Navy score. And now another spike.
The guy running the chains appeared to not be necessarily paying the closest of attention, so that bought him a couple seconds over there.
Yes. So now, 5 passes here in the first 6 halves, and 2 of them were spikes here in the last few seconds.
Yep.
6.2 seconds to go. Navy has the ball at the Air Force 28.
Yeah, barring a penalty, this should probably be the final play of the first half.
Most likely, yes. So 6.2 seconds to go here in the 4th grade championship game. Navy trying to add to its 1-point lead, and now got a rush over on the right side, and he rushes. He's pushed out of bounds. A good run inside the 20, but that's it. So White picks up about 9 or 10 yards on the last play, and that brings us to halftime. So wild and woolly barn burner of a first half. It looks like we're going to have a down to the wire chase for the 4th grade championship. Your score here in Fishers, Navy 13, Air Force 12.
All right, we'll take a pause. We got 5 minutes up on our clock, and we will be back with the second half. All right, Leck. Well, that was a pretty exciting first half. The Navy leading the Air Force 13-12, but Air Force will get the ball to begin the second half.
That's right. It was a great first half. Each team scored easily on its first possession. Navy in 2 plays, Air Force in 4. But then after Navy turned it over on downs on their second possession, Air Force responded with another touchdown, and then Navy ended up 4th and 5 at the Air Force 35. Things looked bleak for the midshipmen, but then Maurer got a big 4th down conversion. The midshipmen ended up scoring 2, and then taking the lead with the conversion by Maurer, and then Air Force looked like they were going to close out the half with a score, but when they had it 1st and goal at the 10, there was a fumble on the snap, resulting in a 5-yard loss, and they ended up turning it over on downs themselves. So, each team, flirting with, letting the other team take control, but it's neck and neck right now with just a 1-point lead for Navy, and of course in the first game, it was tied at the half, 20-20 before Notre Dame pulled away for 21 unanswered points to close out the game to win the 3rd grade championship 41-20. And, hopefully we'll have a more competitive second half. Nevertheless, a lot of offensive, fireworks here in both games so far. So certainly a lot of great talent that's shaping up to be very big, in the future for the 2 high schools here in Fishers. So now to start off the half after only a 5-minute halftime. Air Force on offense. Handoff there, and he's gets up for about 3 or 4 yards. So 7:48 to go and counting. That was Rep there on the carry. He had a touchdown earlier on a 1-yard rush. And that was just a second carry of the game. See, they give him credit for 4 there. So now two running backs there. Now the quarterback fakes it, dodges a sack, gets up, and he gains about 1. So good job making something out of nothing there. Higginson, very. It looked to me like he ran between the 2 guys who ran after him, and he gets up for 2 yards, bringing up 3rd and 5 there for the Falcons, trailing by 1 here in the 3rd quarter of the 4th grade championship game. This is the first possession. 6:42 to go. So same formation now. Higginson under center. And I think every snap in this game has been under center. Now he hands off. He's got some room up the middle. He's got the first down and more up to about the 27. So that'll be about an 8-yard gain there. So Goins had some very, very good moments here for Air Force so far. They give him credit for 8 on that one. Yeah, so I have Goins 6 for 66 in this game. Certainly he's a guy I'll be watching come up the ranks over the years. And, this is the field that a lot of these kids will be playing on in a few years as their home field. TCU field here. And so now a handoff, and he's got some room up the middle inside the 25. Nearly broke a tackle, but he was tripped up right down at about the 23 there. So Goins with his 7th carry of the game. Then there have been 5 different Falcons have rushed in this game. Give him credit for 4 on that one. So 5:35 to go and counting. They break huddle with the coach. Coaches are allowed to be on field here in 3rd and 4th grade ball. So same formation again. Higginson. Hands off. They're right on top of him, but he does dive forward and gets a few yards out of it, so it'll bring up 3rd and short. So Rep there They move him up to the 19 there. Rep with his third carry of the game. He has a touchdown on a 1-yard rush. 4:58 to go now and counting. Don't forget, stay with us after the conclusion of this game. We're going to go in just a few minutes after that's concluded to the 5th and 6th grade championship game, the final game of our triple header. 3rd and 3 now. And now quarterback keeper dives forward. I think he's got the first down. It's going to be very close. Yes, he does. He does by the skin of his teeth.
Boy, that generous spot that the Air Force were upset about last half, they're pretty excited about now.
Yeah, certainly it's there's a lot of subjectivity to spotting. And in fact, you go back to the 1958 NFL championship game between the old Baltimore Colts and the New York Giants. That was the first overtime game ever played in the NFL. It's considered by some to be the greatest game of all time. And, that drive in which the Colts got the game-tying field goal might not have happened if not been for a controversial spot that kept the drive going. So, yeah, officiating is subjective, no question about it. Now breaks a tackle there on first down, gets up for about 1 yard. So Bryson Goins has had some very big gains earlier in the game. However, he's been stopped for only short gains on his last 2 or 3 carries now. Over halfway done with this third quarter now. This is the first possession of the quarter. Air Force doing a good job milking the clock. 2nd and 9 now at the 15. Higginson, the quarterback. Now we got 2 receivers out to the right, along with 1 running back. He hands off to Goins again. He's got a hole, and he could get up to the 10. Yeah, he drags a defender past the 10 up to about the 9. So Goins with his best carry in the last 4 or 5 there.
Did a nice job from running sideways to running forward that time, Leck.
Yes. Yes. So good job there by Goins. I have him 9 for 77 now. He leads both teams in rushing by a big margin. White leads, by my count, White leads Navy with 52. So 3rd and 4 now. Air Force now. Hands off to Goins again. He trips. I think, it looked like he tripped, but he does dive forward for about 2, so it's going to be 4th and short now. And I assume they will go for it. We have not seen any field goal attempts at all in this game.
1 yard for the Falcons.
See, 4th and 2 now for the Falcons. And takes a snap, hands off, and I think he's got it up to about the 5.
Yeah, he got met by somebody in the secondary, stood straight up, but his forward progress, he had already gotten to the 5-yard line.
So Rep there, very good in short yardage situations. He scored the touchdown in the first half. And now there's an outside shot now with the 1st and goal at the 5 that Air Force could get through the entire third quarter with this one possession. So, and of course they're keeping the Navy offense off the field, which is good for Air Force, obviously. So now we've got Goins and one other running back there. And now a keeper. He goes around the left side. He could get in. He dives. Yes, touchdown.
Nice run that time. Really taking some tacklers with him into the end zone, Leck.
Yes, he did. So Higginson showing a lot of toughness there at quarterback. His first touchdown of the game, and Air Force goes ahead 18-13 with the conversion pending. And that was the first. Then that was, so Air Force, out of an 8-minute quarter, using all but a minute 13 on the first drive and capping it off with the touchdown. Well, now trying to cap it off with the conversion. So, yeah, the first drive going about as well as it could have for Air Force. Of course, no matter what happens here, Navy will be within one possession. So still very much in the game with over a quarter to play. Now, handoff there to Goins, but he stopped short. No, well, I thought he was down. Wow. So Goins, was that a 2-point conversion there by Bryson Goins, and now it's 20-13. So Air Force now looking in good shape, but remember, Navy just down by 7. They still got 9 minutes and 13 seconds to go. So it's still anybody's game here in the quest for the 4th grade championship. Yeah, so Goins, I thought he was down, and he just stretched his whole body out and managed to get into the end zone. That was, there's going to be some plays that I'm going to enjoy looking back on, in the archive, this is what a fun couple of games we've had so far. First game was awesome for a half, then Notre Dame pulled away in the second half. This one looks like we're going down to the wire for the 4th grade championship, and hopefully the 5th and 6th grade game will be a thriller too. Your score now, Air Force 20, Navy 13. The midshipman trying to come back here. Now handoff, and he's up for about 3.
3 seconds.
Number 24, Bryson.
This is a really big defensive stand here for Air Force, and keep in mind they had Navy on the ropes last half with a 3rd and long, and then fourth and a decent distance, and couldn't get their offense off the field.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And now handoff there, and he's up there up for about 2 or 3. We'll see. They might give them 3 on forward progress. So Sammy Flum there with a couple of yards there with his first carry of the game. And now on 3rd and 5, a pass, and it is caught for about a 9-yard gain there.
52 on the reception. Nice job to hold that ball as he went down to the turf, Leck.
Yeah, the first completed pass of the game.
So, Owen, how do we say that again?
I think that's going to be our final play of the 3rd quarter, Leck.
Yes, it is. So, well, wait. They're rushing to try to get one off. 3 seconds, 2, 1. And now rushes to his left and takes it over for about a 1-yard gain. So that was a nice effort just to get another play off.
I think they thought they were going to catch Air Force off guard, but Air Force was ready for that.
Yeah, so there's good effort and good job on Navy to get the play off, and good job on Air Force to be ready for it. So good play on both accounts. Wow. So the last game, the last few plays of the 3rd quarter, rather breathtaking. So now, after 3 quarters of play here in the 4th grade championship game, your score, Air Force 20, Navy 13. However, the midshipmen have the ball at the Air Force 25, 2nd down and 9. So don't go anywhere. Not only do we have the thrilling conclusion of this game coming up, but we also have the the fifth and sixth grade championship game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes when I commentate multiple games in a day, I do get a little confused and my brain short circuits a little bit, but I'm not complaining because heck, I remember doing this tournament a couple of times when it was 4 games when they had separate championship games for the 5th and 6th graders. So, this is just always this event is such a great joy and such a great honor and pleasure to bring it to you, the fans, especially the families of these kids. And knowing that wherever you are in the world, you can see your kids play in their championship game here. So now a drive up the middle for about 5 yards. And now we've got So Tremblay, who had a touchdown to open the scoring there, picks up 4 there. So Tremblay it makes it 3rd, and they're marking it 3rd and 4 now. So 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 at the 21 for the midshipmen now. Very critical play here, 7:18 to go, especially the way that Air Force milked the clock on their first possession, using almost all of the third quarter. And now we got play whistled dead here. So, yeah, really looks like we got it down to the wire. Very intense finish to this game coming up here. For those of you just joining us, this is the second game of our triple header. This is an annual event here where we crown the 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th and 6th grade champions here in the Fishers-Hamilton Southeastern Youth League. We're now in the 4th place game in the we're the 4th grade game in the 4th quarter, and now a drive up there for about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 4th and short.
Seems like we were here last half, Leck. There was a 3rd and long and then a 4th and decent, and they were able to pick it up. And here we go once again. It's 4th and 6, and this would be a huge stop for Air Force given how they were able to control the ball in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Air Force controlled the ball, they used 6 minutes and 47 seconds in that scoring drive. There's less time than that in the game now, so Air Force gets the ball back. They could milk out the rest of the clock. So this is a very critical 3rd down especially after then that penalty being really costly, losing those 5 yards. So now we go from 4th and 2 to 4th and 7, a much bigger challenge here. So now give it, and he's not even going to be close. He's about he got about 4 yards there.
And he's going to be, as you said, Leck, a couple yards short. So the Air Force defense stands tall, and with 6:19 left to go in the ball game, they have a 1-score lead, and if they can run some clock here, they could milk this thing away.
That's right. So, they gave it to Shims, who's, prior to that was 3 for 43, but, obviously knowing that Navy was almost certain to rush, Air Force geared to stop it, and Shims stopped after a gain of 4. So now the pressure cranked up now on the Navy defense. And for Air Force, what I expect they're going to try to do, remember they used 6 minutes and 47 seconds on their first drive of the second half and got a score. So I think they're going to be very conservative and just try to keep the ball in bounds, keep the clock and the chains moving. And coming up next, we got the 5th and 6th grade championship game. So don't go anywhere unless you want to come out here and watch it in person and listen to us on your mobile device. So now handoff, and he gets up for about 2. So Air Force Warren there with his 3rd carry of the game only picks up a couple there, so they're going to want to get bigger gains than that, but they do keep the clock moving. 5:40 to go now and counting, 2nd and 8 by the Falcons. $5:30 to go. Air Force trying to milk the clock like a cow. I don't know if I don't know if I invented that phrase myself or if I came up with if I just came up with it subconsciously after hearing it from somebody else. But now we got a penalty against Air Force that'll back it up 5 yards. So a good break for Navy because they do need to get the ball back, and with more time, except it's effectively only a 2-yard penalty though because they can't move it back past the 40. So. Yeah, but I as far as I know, I invented the phrase "milk the clock like a cow." It's one of my favorites that I've come up with. Another one I remember when I was commentating. Hold that thought. I come up with some good ones though, and one thing that I do as a commentator, and hold that thought till after this play.
Clock's moving all the way down to 4:45 here.
Yeah, they're going to try to use up every second on the play clock, I'm sure. And now a handoff, but they're right on top of him. He breaks a tackle, though, past the 35, past the 30, down the, he's one man to beat. Yes, he goes all the way for the touchdown. Oh, my God. And that could seal the deal for Warren. Outstanding job there. He looked like they had him at the line of scrimmage. He gets free, though. He's got a little bit of room on the right side, and he takes it all the way, 40 yards by Warren, to give Air Force a 2-possession lead with 4:31 to go.
Yeah, what a nice job there. They had him in the backfield, and he was able to get free, and then once he got free, nobody was going to catch him.
Yep. So outstanding game there, outstanding play by Warren. So Air Force, and we're starting to see sort of a repeat of what we saw in the third grade championship game, a very tight game for a half, and then one team pulls away in the second half. Now Air Force looks like they're going to do that unless Navy gets something turned on very quickly. 4:31 to go now. The conversion pending, and the Falcons going for the 1-point conversion here. Now fakes the handoff, and we got a flag there. And I think it's coming back. It's good if it counts, but I don't think it's going to count. But let's see here. If it's good, it was Kieran Trotter who took it in for Air Force. But yeah, it is coming back. So yeah, so now they're going to have to go to get 1 point. They're going to have to take it in from 13 yards out now. Nevertheless, things looking very good for Air Force. Looks like they're going to get the fourth grade championship. For those of you just joining us, Notre Dame got the third grade championship, beating Michigan State 41-20 after the game had been tied at 20 at the half. So, snap. And now throws into the end zone, and it is caught for the score. How appropriate. Warren, a 40-yard touchdown rush when it looked like they had him at the line of scrimmage, now catches the pass for the 1-point conversion. And your score with 4:31 to go in the fourth grade championship game, Air Force 27, Navy 13. Coming at you live here on audiosportsonline.com.
Yeah, what a nice job there to get separation. I think in the pros that might have been deemed a push-off, but here that'll work, my friend. That'll work.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Yeah, number 5 there for Air Force doing a great job just getting off and getting that separation, and they can't call it if they don't see it.
Yep. But yeah, this only the second completed. I know statistically it doesn't count as a completed pass, but that's the second pass that's been thrown in this game of any kind that's been caught. So now Navy, they need to score and fast. Meanwhile, in Air Force Nation right now, Jackson Oliver is the man of the moment after that 40-yard touchdown rush capped off by the conversion reception. And now rush up the middle by Navy, and they're rushing back to the huddle.
Yeah, time is the enemy at this point, certainly, and obviously at this stage of football you got to huddle, so it slows you down quite a bit.
I believe they still have their timeouts left, but they're going to need, plays a lot bigger than that, only 2 yards on that play. 3:56 to go. Now, he's brought down. Well, he breaks a tackle. He does get up for about 3 or 4.
I'm sure those Air Force defensive coaches are telling their players, especially those defensive ends, those people on the outside, stay at home. Don't let anything around you. It's okay to give up 3 or 4 yards there in the middle of the field, but don't let anybody get outside of you.
So Cameron Carlander picks up 3 yards there, making it a very critical 3rd and 5 for the midshipman. And now I believe that shims, and he nearly has the first. It's going to be a yard or 2 short.
Yeah, so a big 4th down coming up. They're going to say 4th and 1 on the board, and this would basically be the ball game if they don't get it here left.
That's right, yeah. So shims, 4 yards to make it 4th and 1 now. 3:09 to go. Navy's, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Navy's margin for error is 0. So now they got the first down. Not much more, but they do stay Stay alive, barely.
The one problem that the Navy's got is, unlike in high school, college, or pro, there are no onside kicks here. So even
Right,
if,
yeah.
even if you get the touchdown, you can't get the ball back unless you stop them 4 times.
Yeah, so the defense is going to have to really come through, maybe force a turnover here. But they're going to need to score a lot more quickly than this. There is Shims up the middle for 2 or 3.
Clock continues to run, 2:25 and counting. Left to go in the game now. Air Force just trying to prevent the big play.
Yeah, and as long as they do that, this one's theirs. And now handoff there. He's got some room over on the right side, but he's double-teamed, and he's brought down. So Carlander and Shims, the only 2 guys to touch the ball on this possession, brought down right around the line of scrimmage. So a big 3rd down now for the midshipmen, although it might be too late, under 2 minutes to go now. Now, even if they get a quick score, they're almost going to have to get a turnover. So now he only gets about 3, so it's going to be 4th down there.
Again, playing contain. Nice job that time, not letting them get to the outside, forced him to cut it back, cut it right up there into the defender, and they were able to make the tackle.
So all drive they've been alternating between Shims and Carlander. So now they've got 4th down now and about 5. So let's see what they do here. Like I said, Air Force just has to take away the big play. So now he's looking to get some room. He does get the 1st down inside the 20.
They'll drive him to the ground, but as you said, he's able to pick up the 1st down. So the hope is still alive there for the Navy. They've got 1:09 left to go now, as the clock will wind as they move the chains. And again, the issue they have at this level of football, they have to huddle pretty much after every play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't. I've never seen the no huddle offense run in Little League ball, but nevertheless, so these kids doing a fine job competing here. So now handoff. He's got some room inside the 15.
Yeah, he cut it back for some reason there, and now a timeout's going to be called by Navy. And the problem is, I thought he was going to take it to the outside because he had a lot of room there, but he elected to cut it back and ended up cutting it back into the defenders.
Yes, indeed. So now things starting to look like Air Force is going to pull it out here with 53.6 seconds to go in the game. Navy would need 2 scores, and basically, and especially without, now with Navy starting to use its timeouts, Air Force would just be able to kneel at the clock. So basically, barring some major catastrophe, Air Force will get out of here with, I know we got a penalty, but yeah, Air Force should get out of here with no problem with the championship now, leading 27-13. It's going to be holding against Navy. Good effort by the midshipmen. Just a couple of drives that they didn't quite convert. Had they done so, this could be neck and neck, or maybe even Navy in the lead right now. But you got to give Air Force all the credit in the world, that they've just executed so well. I mean, they've played such good fundamental football, managed the clock very well. And I think the pivotal moment of the game was when they came out with a 1-point deficit in the and then they're rush up the middle for 4, but he's brought down, so it'll bring up 3rd and long there.
Number 5, Joey Spicer on the carry.
So Joey Spicer, a couple of carries here on the last couple of plays. And 3rd and 13 now, 17 seconds now. This very well could be the last play of the game. And he takes it around the 15, inside the 10, and knocked down short of the 10 with 8.1 seconds to go. So the Air Force Falcons will emerge as the champions for 2020 for 4th grade. And so now there will be at least one more play here, but Air Force will hang on to win. Great effort by Navy, comes just a little bit short. And, the moment of the game for me is when Air Force came out trailing by 1 to start off the 3rd quarter. They not only used 6 minutes and 47 seconds of the clock, but they kept it off with a touchdown that put them in the lead to stay. And by the time Navy got the ball back, they were in a position where they knew they almost had to score, and the Air Force defense, did its job, and so it's certainly a well-earned championship by the Falcons. So, but don't go away though, because we're gonna have coming up next the 5th and 6th grade championship games. So, the finish off the triple header that for many years was a quadruple header. It's 52 degrees now under a very cloudy sky here in the lovely city of Fishers, here in the northeast Indianapolis suburbs. So 4th and 5, fakes the handoff, throws it up, and it is incomplete. 3.6 seconds to go. I imagine that and the referee looks like, giving the signal, and the clock runs off. So now it's official. Air Force hangs on to win the 4th grade championship game. Much congratulations to the Falcons, and congratulations to the Navy midshipmen on getting there. Another great display of the budding talent here in the lovely community of Fishers that will be playing for Fishers and Hamilton Southeastern High Schools in just a few years. And it all starts with events like this in this great youth football league that develops kids and gets them ready to play high school ball, gets them in good physical condition, teaches them all the fundamentals of the game, and gets the kids accustomed to playing together. So so glad to be bringing you this event on audiosportsonline.com. So now we're 2/3 of the way done through the event. The quick recap. For the 3rd grade championship, Notre Dame beats Michigan State 41-20. And then here in the just completed 4th grade championship, Air Force beats Navy in the Battle of Service Academies 27-13. And we're going to have the 5th and 6th grade championship game coming at you live in just a few minutes here on audiosportsonline.com.
All right, so we're going to turn on we're going to show the award ceremony here, so we'll let you enjoy that.
Yes.
And then we'll stop our stream, and we will bring you the 5th and 6th grade game. So stick around. We'll talk to you in just a bit.
Yep.
In 1999, Jim Wirchick was among several dedicated and devoted parents and leaders.
You're right.
Mudsock Youth Football League. Jim was the football board president for its first 2 years of operation, presently serving approximately 1,000 boys and girls from kindergarten through 6th grade. The league started with just 250 players. Among them was Jim's son, Michael. The league was founded on a mission to encourage physical and mental growth through keen competition, to emphasize good citizenship and scholastic achievement, and nurture good sportsmanship through sense of fair play. Michael Wirchick exemplified the league's core values and character of teamwork, determination, sportsmanship during his years as a player and throughout his life. In August of 2011, Michael Wirchick's life ended tragically. He was only 21 years old. To honor Michael's memory and the contributions of the Wirchick family, the Mudsock Youth Football League proudly established the Michael Wirchick Sportsmanship Award.
All right.
This award is given annually
I guess
to
for
recognize one team in each recreational tackle league.
What's that?
Third through sixth,
Yeah.
that demonstrates exceptional character, teamwork, determination, sportsmanship, and a manner of Michael Wirchick. Sadly, Jim passed away earlier this year in April. However, Donna Wirchick and her family are here to present the award to this year's recipient of the Michael Wirchick Sportsmanship Award for the 4th grade team, the IU Hoosiers. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for this year's IU Hoosiers. Drankin Johnson, Kingston DeVette, Owen Taylor, Jack Lux, Josh Baker, Thaxton DeVette, Finnegan Harvey, Luke Olson, Braxton Zeller, and Mitchell Johnson. And please put together your hands for the coaches, Mike John and Johnson Baker. Hey, look, kid, I'm a volunteer here. Leave me alone.
Mike Johnson. John Baker. John Baker. Me?
Where you going, Dad? Where you going?
All right, you gonna be
Oh.
taking over the wheel?
Yes,
Yes,
thanks.
you
We're kind of
got
down
it.
in your area.
because
least
I
you've
had a lot
been
of fun going
consistently
out there.
butchering it.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But yeah, they
This is
They
my grandma's always
decided to get their own student radio
Ladies and
station.
gentlemen, put your hands
Yeah.
together for this year's fourth
But,
grade
yeah, I was,
runner-up, the Navy
at the time,
Midshipmen.
I was living on the west side of Indianapolis, so it was about a 40-minute drive for me. From here, it would be about I live in Carmel now, so it'd be about an hour. But yeah,
Wow. For sure.
but yeah, I was really impressed. You know,
If the Navy men
how
would like to get to the
I was
50-yard line,
impressed
let's
with how
present you
ambitious
some
their
trophies.
program was. They were really serious about being, a state championship contender in 2A, and they spent a lot of money upgrading their facilities and everything. So they're so limited by they only have 400 students, so they just,
And let's put a big
Yeah.
round of applause for number 28,
And-
Sam Tripley. Number 17, Hudson Deal.
My ex-wife went there.
Number
Oh, okay.
34, Grayson
Wow.
Shims.
Yeah, it's a great school.
Number 8, Cameron Carlander.
And
Number 5, Joey Spicer.
the thing,
Number 58, Owen Maurer.
I mean, to give
Number 50,
perspective,
Gray
my
Maurer.
kids go to Carmel, the highest student population in the state. They have
Number
5,200
50.
students.
Number 24, Luke
The
Andrus.
thing is, when you have a
Number
program
52,
like that,
Braden White.
you've got,
Number 55, Sammy Flume.
you
And
can
their
have a couple
coaches,
injuries,
head coach
and you still got
Joe
other guys who
Tripley,
are still talented,
Bobby
good size and
Shims,
everything,
and
just step
Toby
in.
Deal.
But the thing is, with Cascade, they would just be so at the mercy of injuries.
Ladies
If
and
they
gentlemen,
lost
one more
guy,
time. Let's give it up for
You know,
the
it could be
Navy
devastating.
Shipmen.
For sure.
Yeah, they really had to stay healthy. But I mean, I remember the first year I was out there, the 2016-2017 school year. Their girls basketball team, they actually had, keep in mind this is 430 students there. They had 4 girls on that team who went on to play in college, which is incredible for a school
And
that
let's
size.
give it up for the Navy cheerleaders,
Yeah.
led by Coach Tiffany Harrell. Let's give it up for Harper Harrell, Piper Harrell, Ava Rusk, Elysium, Aubrey Works, and Claire Carrington. Let's keep this here.
I only do that because we were on the championship last year. They announced the cheerleaders too.
Crap.
Now who are the Knights?
So we are a 5th and 6th grade travel football program.
Oh, okay.
Part of Mudsock Sports.
Okay, good.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your 2020 4th grade Mudsock champions, the Air Force Falcons.
Those two, and then your
Number 24, Bryson Goins. Number 58, Isaac Rep. Number 8, Jackson Oliver. Number 55, Kaden Sauria. Number 17, Kiernan Trotter. Number 28, Liam Higginson. And number 34, Mason Cuxhausen. Number 5, Philip Warren. Number 50, Porter Lindbergh. And number 52, William Joyce. And let's put a special round of applause for the coaches. Head coach Doug Cuxhausen. Assistant coach Scott Higginson and Tyson Trotter. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for your 4th grade championship team. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the girls that have been supporting the whole time. The Air Force cheerleaders with coaches Susan Mendena and Susan
giving all the energy that I can give.